Hello riders from around the world. In this video I'm going to talk about forever battle between small and big adventure motorcycles. What is the right size, what is the right weight, how to choose and many more. Stay with me. Welcome back guys. Am I look like adventurer now with this beard? Not really. Let me tell you something about it. Here in Berlin, because of my job, I have to shave almost every day. On the trips, I never do. I don't even take my shaving cream or razors. Maybe you have heard this before, but the football players never shave because they are afraid that they're gonna shave their luck. Well, I'm terrible with football, but I like the idea. Okay, now you know why I never shave, but now I'm back and let me fix this problem for you. Wow, what a difference! Now I feel myself 10 years younger and 5 kilograms lighter, but I will make it even better. Alright, now I'm ready to talk. Let's go back to the topic. Big or small adventure motorcycle? Sorry guys, but I have to read the comments I told you last night. I'm sorry my friend, the guy who wrote the comment, but I really need to show this because I really hope that it will answer many questions and maybe it will help someone to make the right choice. Now I watched another videos of yours and I have to say in many points you're just wrong. Maybe you never drove a big adventure bike, but actually you can go with along the Silk Road, the Road of Bones or Central Africa. Don't know why you're so afraid, or it wasn't much harder than with a small bike. I would rather look carefully and ride smart as fall into the pits. There also need people to pull out. You should better not talk so determined if you have never tried with GS or something that I can say. In most of the trips I rode on roads and you never tell people that you're lame duck with 48 horsepower. So I like motorcycling without necessarily explaining all the people what they are wrong riding their GSs. I'm not sure that I understand carefully and rightly this comment, but anyway, I replied back. I can't understand one thing. Why the hell everyone wants to convince me to have a big adventure bike? I just don't need it. He replied back. Motorcycle adventures don't want to convince you, but I wouldn't be convinced by you either. All trips with tarmac or gravel are absolutely possible with big adventure bikes. Well, I never had the idea to convince anyone to ride lighter bikes. The idea behind my channel is to help people to make their trips easier. And also to show you that you can make the trip with any bike you have. Just remember the phrase, the best adventure bike is the one you have in the garage. And the main reason I always suggest to have as light as possible bikes is because on the long trips you never know what you're going to face. Of course, the guy never gave up and rode back. Motorcycle adventures, where you have been on something else than tarmac and gravel on your last trip. Most of the time you have actually been on a perfect roads. On wheels you have mounted, take everything which is great in motorcycling and you really have not need them. You can't go in curves properly or surf through the curves. And how are you feeling after 10 hours of vibrating on 660cc? You must have taken GS. For this trip your motorcycle is far from proper. I'm sorry, but I cannot read it properly. It's my fault, it's not the fault of the guy who wrote it. I see. Now this guy knows where I was on the trip. Let me show you this video. I hope that it will answer many of your questions.
And you cannot even imagine that it is possible to have snow, but look at now. Look at now. It just opened this gap. I can see here tracks from here. It will be even worse when I go to the deep snow over there. Akil Island and the top west port of Ireland. Was good. It even went even further. Not good. Not good. You see what I'm talking about this machine? It is just unbeatable. So they said it's over there where the fence is, it's a private land. So that's it. Here is the place.
So guys, as I said before, on a long trips you never know what you're going to face. Actually, 95% of the time I was really on a perfect roads, but 5% of the time I spent on these very interesting locations and I really want to go there. So in common, this 5% of the roads I took, these dirt roads, make 95% of the nice experience and feeling I've got on that trip, if you understand what I mean. If I had a big adventure motorcycle, I have to skip it. Is it worth to skip the best part of my trip because of the weight? I don't think so. Okay, enough about these comments, I hope you get the idea. The next question, why I'm riding this XT660Z? It is not light either. Let me explain you with more details. Yeah, I know it is a not light motorcycle, it's 200 kilograms, but it's a very good compromise between heavy adventure motorcycle and really light machine. Yes, I would love to have something like 100 or 120 kilograms when I'm going on the dirt roads, but I'm gonna hate it when I have to travel on the highways. So for example, Mongolia is a really nice destination. Yeah, I love it. Everything is great, a lot of dirt roads. You can really enjoy it on a proper dirt bike. But to get there, you need at least 8 or 10,000 kilometers. How I'm gonna go there 10,000 kilometers on a 120 kilograms bike? It's just impossible. On the other hand, I'll be perfect with a heavy adventure motorcycle until the moment I get there. But finally, when I arrived in these beautiful and open dirt roads, gravel roads or muddy roads or whatever roads, I'll be not that satisfied because the bike is going to be too heavy and I have to skip the most interesting part of the trip. That's why I choose this compromise, because there is no perfect bike. It's always something. One bike is heavy, the second is too light, the third is too fast, the fourth is too slow. There is no perfect bike. You have to own 3, 4 or 5 different bikes, but not everyone is capable to do this. So this was the first reason to choose this bike. The second reason is because it is crashing really well. As you already saw in many of my videos, and even in last video when I fell into that muddy ditch, I get out without almost any damages, only the windscreen, and actually it was broken when we tried to lift the bike up, not when it's go down. The third point is functionality. With this bike I am able to go almost everywhere, anytime. As I told you many times, I am fine on the highway. Yeah. It is boring, it is not exactly the bike for highways, but anyway, even if you have 1200 cc on the highway, it's going to be boring. It is not fun either. It doesn't matter that you're gonna ride 20 or 30 kilometers per hour faster. What I noticed yesterday when I was returning from Amsterdam to Berlin, the traffic was really bad. It was raining in many sections. It was maybe about 10 or 15 kilometers traffic jam, and actually I have to filter between the cars. And what I noticed before that, when I was riding with about 110 kilometers per hour, many GSS just go past me like woo, woo. From the moment when we get to the traffic, what is happening, they all were waiting there because of their massive size and big hard panniers. They cannot go between the cars. But I went just so easy, soup. Okay, so I was able to go very fast, and then maybe after 30 or 40 kilometers more, again, woo, woo, next to me, up to the next point where we have to do exactly the same, and for many times. So on that destination, Amsterdam, Berlin, 700 kilometers, I doubt that they will get even more than 30 minutes on the whole destination. This is the reality, guys. This is the reality, and it is not fun for them either. On the other hand, when I was talking that these light bikes, they just crash really well, What I mean is that because of the weight of the bike, even if you crash it, it is not going to be that badly damaged. If you go down with a 300 kilograms bike from its own weight, it will be so badly damaged. So I cannot even imagine what is going to be with a heavy adventure motorcycle into that muddy ditch. We cannot even take it out. So for my bike, 200 kilograms, I was not able even to move it. So I needed 4 people altogether just to get it out. What is going to be if we have 100 kilograms more? We will need at least 2 more people or crane, whatever. Maybe a month ago, I watched a video on YouTube. A guy took for test ride Honda Africa Twin, the new model Adventure, with a big tank and 230-40 kilograms. So he went somewhere to make an off-road test, and he actually dropped the bike. Not that bad, he dropped it with a very low speed, 20-30 kilometers per hour. But unluckily, he crashed one side of the engine covers, and he split the oil, so actually the bike stuck there. The first problem was that the guy was short and light. He cannot even lift it from the ground. The second problem was the oil, so the bike actually stuck in the middle of nowhere. What if this is your trip? What if you try to ride this motorcycle off-road somewhere? Because many of you say, yeah, heavy bikes are fine, you can go to the gravel, to the roads, it's fine. Yeah, this guy was going to a very simple dirt road, very simple. You can find it in YouTube and watch it. The title was How Not to Test a Honda Africa Twin or something like that. Very simple track, so everybody will say, yeah, I can go, I can do it. But he crashed and he stopped there. This is what I'm talking about. So let's go back to the question why I'm riding this XT660 instead of something better. Because it is such a trouble-free motorcycle. I had it from already more than 130,000 kilometers, and the only problem I've got was a circuit before my trip to Mongolia. Circuit in the cables, that's it. And I really hope that it will survive many more kilometers. It is such a trouble-free bike. It was proven now in last field I got in the ditch. So one of the next point was why I always use this Takey C80 instead of normal road tires. And also the guy asked I could make it even better with better road tires. And again, to reply with him, you have to go back and watch the video I just showed you 5 minutes ago, and see that with these tires I'm able to go anywhere, anytime. They're fine on the road. Maybe not perfect, but they're fine. And I'm not a fast rider. I'm not a big fan of hair clips, passes or whatever. So they are perfectly fine for me. As long as they give me this flexibility to go anywhere, anytime. I often got another one question, how I'm able to travel so light? Well guys, it's a personal preferences, but what I need for 3 days is the same what I'm gonna need for 1 month. The same story. My luggage now on the last trip was altogether 19 kilograms. From this 19 kilograms, 5 kilograms was my tank bag with all of my camera gear, chargers and cables and everything what I really need to make these videos for you guys. And 4 kilograms was my tent. The tent I never used, but I had an idea maybe I'm gonna use it somewhere, so I never did. So if you took out this 9 kilograms, it's altogether 10 kilograms. Who need more? You're on a motorcycle trip, you're not on fashion show or something. You can go just well with a simple clothes, zip pants and pair of shoes. That's it. What about the performance of these light bikes? They are not powerful enough, they are not good enough to ride fast. Well, it's okay for me. These 48 horsepower are fine for me. As I said just before 5 minutes, yeah, I have a lack of power on the highway, but I am okay in any other roads, on the twisty roads, on the corners, uphill, downhill, around the city. It's just great, and this is what I need. The highways are fine. I can live with 100 or 110 kilometers per hour the whole day. It's fine for me. So finally, to make a conclusion, I am not a GS hater or I hate all of these big or heavy adventure motorcycles. No, absolutely not. I think they are perfect motorcycle and they're very good, and I have rode them all, and I have to say they are great bikes. Each one of them got a lot of pros And I love all bikes. In fact, I love all bikes. I have nothing against any brand or model, but they are just not for me, for my type of trips. But everybody is free to ride whatever he or she wants. We live in free world. Just ride whatever you want. As I said many times, and I'll say it again, the best adventure motorcycle is the one you've got in the garage. If this is a BMW 1600, ride it. If this is 125cc, just ride it. Even if you have a scooter, ride it. The most important is to travel. The bike is just a tool. It doesn't matter what you have. Just go and ride. Don't focus so much on the motorcycle. Focus on the trip. Focus on everything you're gonna see on the trip. All of these beautiful, nice places, all of these great people from around the world. Just go and see it. Remember it, guys. Just remember it. Thank you very much for watching, and always, always ride safe. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you next time. Ciao.